know if you can hear me. Hopefully we have audio now. All right, if you can hear me, give me just another second here. I'm going to try to connect through another way so I can play some video in the background here. Give me just a moment. All right, so if you can hear me, let me know. Give me a 5x5 instead of a yes or this or that. Just let me know that you actually hear me. And I don't know because it sounds like you may be talking to each other. So let's double check. Okay. All right. Well, hello everybody. As there's a couple, and I apologize for being late. I just, as usual, just got a phone call and trying to confirm quite a bit of information that has just come up. Has everyone has seen what has happened today? Hey Nick. Hey Alan. Hey Scott. Kip. CL. Pac-Man. Edward. Scott again. Fun. Everybody. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. We're going to go over this video that obviously has made the rounds today. If anyone wants to come in and discuss it, let me know right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in there, and we will make it available. Yeah, I agree. We need to lock this person up. So hold on. I'm going to go get a guest right away. If I can get this screen to work, because I'm back to my phone again. And give me just a second here. Let's see here. I'm going to mute for just a moment. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I get this technical stuff handled. I'll be right back. So hang tight.
All right, this one doesn't have a logo attached to it, but can you hear me now? If you can hear me now, here I am talking to myself. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to queue up this video in the background here. I am now crossed between two different desktops, but we're going to play this. You guys can see what we're dealing with here. All right, I'll just do it from the damn phone and shit. All right, bear with me. I'm going to have to do this from my phone again because each time I log in, or everyone likes to call me right before I go live for some reason, and it really just kind of slows me down. But hey, that's what life's all about, right? And send me text messages to let me know that they can't see me. But here we go. Let me turn this off and go to this screen here. Bear with me. Yeah. Okay, this will not let me do screen share. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I should be back to the original here. Sorry about that. Okay, I just put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come in, please go ahead and do so, and I will work out the technical kinks in the background. But as everyone has seen, what happened today in Minneapolis, it is absolutely probably one of the most disgusting videos I think I've ever seen. And it is really going to be a problem. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. As I pull my headset off, which blasts myself in the ear. Turn my volume down. And I promise you one day I'll have all these little technical issues corrected. Here's what's going apparently happening right now in Minneapolis. There's some areas that look like they're going to get into some riots and what have you. And if there's ever a time to be a problem, or that a riot is almost justified. I mean, I would never justify a riot, but what we saw today was absolutely ridiculous. Earlier today on Facebook, I put that there was probably going to be rioting tonight. Apparently, that's happening, and I don't really know how bad it's going to get, but it's not going to be pretty by any means. So I'm still going to try to fix this in the background, but we're going to try to screen share here and see how that works. It says, well, make sure click on share remote, and it's on the mobile thing again and again. See, StreamYard will work one way and then it won't work another. And let's do this. And then screen share. No, I'm still won't want to do it. Yeah, I have seriously considered announcing that cop's name. You don't know how bad I wanted to just put that cop on blast. Absolutely ridiculous. When you sit there and you just watch someone kill someone slowly, just do the lack, and then the other cop that was standing in front just stand there doing what he does or did, which absolutely was as bad. I think all four cops that were there, especially the first two, should be charged for murder. Murder in the first degree. The first one, maybe second, or manslaughter for the second, but it should be a problem for him. If you're watching this on Facebook, please drop over to my 5x5 channel on YouTube so you can get involved in here. I've sent the link there. Check that as well if anybody wants to come in. Yeah, I think his name is already out there. There's several people that have pretty much announced his name, but not necessarily the rest of his information. We'll see how that works out for him. But what an idiot that guy was. I'm going to get a hold of his record and see if he has a history of doing this kind of stuff. And if he does, well, I think we'll know pretty quick. What needs to happen to that guy. Obviously, if he goes into jail, he won't go into regular population. Anyone knows that. It would be nice if he did. But hang around for just a second. I'm going to try one more time to get this other option to work here because it's much more important that I do that. So give me just a second. Be right back. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. If you can, that means the right screen is working. And we will try to do this here. Pull this off. All right, let's see if that works. You guys get to see everything, including the back end here. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Sorry about the multiple screens there. It's just the way it does it when you do this. And why it's so slow, I don't know. Let's see. There we go. And hopefully the audio will come through for the other. And we will see that here. Give me just a second. Why it's taking forever, I don't know. I have a fast connection. I just love technology sometimes, especially when you've already tested it. Here we go. This is the full video. Okay, so I went ahead and stopped the that screen there. I got a hell of an echo in the background. Let me turn off one of these microphones, and it should stop that, I hope. Anyway, everybody hear me fine now? I think everybody's seen this video, and so replaying it probably is not absolutely necessary. But what I think is necessary is that does anyone have a different opinion about what happened in this video? I mean, this man was clearly murdered by cops. And I have an ongoing situation here where in my mind we're all supposed to respect cops, all this other stuff, and we can see all the cliche crap what we want, but imagine all of us we're all in the same place and we just watch these cops kill this man. Black, white, red, brown, doesn't matter, but at this point the Black Lives Matter. This black man's life truly matters. I don't know if this cop has a history of an issue like that, but this man was being picked up for forgery, nonviolent situation. The guy may have resisted arrest or whatever, but this guy was already handcuffed, pinned down, and killed. Simple as that. What can we do as Americans, Michelle? Real simple. Here's what we can do. We can riot. There we go. Who's this guy? Never heard of this guy before. Who is this? Who's in here?
Man, I'll tell you what. It's me again.
Hey, me again. I mean, this is just, and I do want to make an announcement real quick, just so everybody knows. If you haven't heard, I will go ahead and say what's happened today in the Las Vegas community. We lost another. We did lose someone today. Samantha Arjun. I have already spoken. Well, I won't say who I spoke to. We'll just say that I've spoken with people that are close to the source and as close as you can get. Let's just say that. I'm not going to get into the details about the situation other than Sam was shot during the Route 91 concert. Bullet entered the leg and has had complications from that since that day. And that's where I'm going to leave it. We lost Sam in the last 24 hours, and there's going to be several things that will come out. So there's going to be a GoFundMe type of account. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be GoFundMe or whatever to help with the final expenses and things like that. So please look for that, and we'll go from there. So now back to this, and I'll get back to the other later as I get more information, but I'll probably just leave that whole subject alone. It's a private matter for the family, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to go into that. Anyway, secrets or
Good evening,
COG,
sir.
or you're back to SSWI. What happened? I looked down and see SSWI. Right? Yeah.
Well, luckily I'm used to being called all kinds of different things, right?
Imagine that, you and me both.
Well, look, I mean, this is just devastating. I mean, and just the news you just shared now is devastating as well. It's the world's going through a lot of pain in so many different ways, and this incident here involving this cop or these cops and this poor man, this is really unsettling to say the least. And man, I don't know, I just came on because you put the link in the chat, and I've been thinking about this ever since I heard the news and then you released a video, and it's just ridiculous to
you coming in, because the technical difficulties went kind of, my thought of getting away from the technical difficulties helped when you came in, because having someone else distract me is helpful. There are times when you watch these videos and these things happen, we kind of get numb to some of them for some reason over time. This one, not so much. This one here just brought back up every damn emotion I have ever had watching any of these police brutality videos. And
I mean, where does this stop? I mean, what in the hell was going through this damn cop's mind to make him think that he could just keep his knee there as long as he wanted? Like, you know, it's a common move. Even the guy in the background who knew jiu-jitsu knows what was going on and how long a person, you know, once a person goes limp, you pull up, you're done. I mean, they're not going to get up fighting, and he's already handcuffed. This guy was murdered right in front of us, right in front of those people.
So many tools available at their disposal to manage the situation and to stay in that position and keep that force on that person's neck like that guy's neck. I mean, I don't know what was going through his mind. I had the same thought when I was watching the video and just wondering, you know, what evil is in this guy's head right now? And all those voices trying to send the message of reasoning to the guy and get him to acknowledge what the hell he's actually doing, and not just him, but the other officers around making no effort to, I guess, I don't know if it was one other officer or more, but obviously at least one other officer making no effort to help manage the situation and potentially realize the mistake of the other officer that was being made there. This is unbelievable. And man, what really gets me is the devastation to the community as a whole, on every level. I mean, obviously the trust that the citizens have in law enforcement is always challenged, and now it's just totally set back and devastated. You know, good officers that join the force for all the right reasons and go out and try to do good work every day, they're set back so far now because community relations are just devastated. This just hurts everybody, and it's just sick to see the devastation at the hands of a spineless few. I mean, everybody in the comments has, you know, been spot on. I'm just kind of reiterating what a lot of people are saying and expressing, and it's just, I know you have some background in working with law enforcement on various tactical approaches, hand to hand. I think you mentioned in the past. Yep. You know, one thought that crossed my mind that you may be more aware of than most would be procedure protocol as it relates to engaging with a suspect, defensive versus offensive, the point in which you've, you know, secured your safety as an officer.
Right. And what happens is, and just you know, I'm sure somebody will probably be new in here, not know. I'm a martial artist. I used to be a taser instructor. I've worked with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Miami-Dade. I've worked with the U.S. Marshals, which is just north of Jacksonville, and a whole plethora of law enforcement agencies, mainly in the southeast, a couple towards the north, but mainly in the southeast, in regards to training with weapon removal, close quarter combat, which is CQC, close quarter combat, pepper spray. I used to manufacture pepper spray called Sense of Security. And again, a taser instructor. I used to love shooting cops with tasers and shooting them with pepper spray. It was a whole lot of fun. But when it gets down to actual training and what a cop is supposed to do, and I did not train cops on specifically what they're supposed to do because I wasn't a licensed police instructor in that regard. Mine was less than lethal instruction. But obviously, you know, you'll learn all the other tactics and stuff, and you have to go within each department's own codes. And each department is slightly different. You know, some departments allow chokeholds, some departments allow other, you know, methods. Some say to, you know, draw your weapon. Some say to draw something less than lethal, whether it be pepper spray or taser or what have you. And in this case here, this man was already on the ground. Okay, we don't know the specifics of what happened right before this. We have an idea that this guy he admittedly resisted arrest. Acceptable that in any way, shape, or form is it allowed for an officer to continue to hold a suspect in that type of a hold for any length of time. And everybody wants to message me right now. Seriously, people, especially even people that are in here. Come on, people. If you can't hear me, that's fine. It's like, really? Like, yes, I will call you later. Thank you. But anyway, but this situation went on far too long. Chokeholds, especially chokeholds to the way this person had it. I'm going to turn all these other notifications off here in the background. The way that the officer had this person pinned down for that length of time, and just the casualness this cop had. His hand is in his pocket. He's just sitting there like he's got nothing better to do than to just sit on this guy until this guy dies. When you hear commands, or when you do commands for a person to stop resisting and all these other things, that's understandable. We hear it all the time. Cops automatically say stop resisting regardless, because no matter what's going on, because they think they might be recording or whatever. But in this instance, that was not even being done. This guy was obviously not resisting. He was in a position to where it was clear that he could not resist or fight back. He was already handcuffed. He was already in a position to where he was having difficulty breathing. We've all seen this before. We've seen it in New York. We've seen it in Chicago, in numerous cities. And here we are seeing it in Minneapolis, which is probably going to be on fire tonight, all because of the actions of this one fucking asshole cop who screwed up. And I have zero empathy for this guy, like zero. If this guy ends up fried on a steak tonight, I would not sit there and bat an eye and worry and go, you know what, that's probably too much. No, and I'm not going to encourage it either. But at the same time, this is just wrong, complete wrong. And again, going back to the training part, and I apologize because I'm excited about it. And plus the phone call I had just before this was kind of nutty, but the guy was not resisting arrest in any way, shape, or form. He was already subdued. He was already in restraints. So the guy's on restraints, and he's further being restrained with a knee to the neck, which is an appropriate move. I don't have a problem with that, but there's a certain point that you back off. You can't just hold someone circulation, which is the carotid artery on the side of the head, and also compression to the neck, which causes the difficulty in breathing. Plus, the guy was bleeding through his nose, which also creates an issue with breathing. And then just let him expire. That's I don't know of any training manual anywhere. This cop is guilty of murder. Period. We saw it. It's cut and dry. No matter what this guy did before. It wasn't like this guy just ran out of a bank robbery or something, or where he just shot 15 people and running down the street and he's got a gun in his hand. This guy had no weapon. He was unarmed, no weapon whatsoever. He was handcuffed, meaning he was restrained. And this cop was already applying a further restraint to him. And that's it. There's a certain point where you say, okay, let's get him up and get him in the car. And even the guy said, you could hear him. He was calling for his mother. I mean, he was begging for his life. And the other people around were trying to even either assist, aid, or say, look, take his pulse or something. This video here is the most damning video I have ever seen in the history of me going through these things, of a cop being a perfect example of what a guilty cop has done. And there's no other way around it. Sorry. Your turn.
Man, I'll tell you what, I just listening to you express all that. I mean, there's nothing to add. It's the reality of the situation. And this is a huge setback. I mentioned that community, but this is a setback for everyone. I mean, this is a setback for the whole country. I mean, and beyond. I mean, we're just a small fraction of, the world around us, all of us here and in the chat. And, I can sense the emotion from a lot of people that are commenting. It is emotional. It sucks. It's a total damn, man. I can't even think of the right words, but what a tragedy to society as we know it and the standards that are supposed to be upheld. But yeah, it's murder. It's flat out. Something was wrong in that damn cop's head, and that other damn cop. I mean, all you want to do is tackle him when you see the whole shit show going on. All you want to do is tackle him. Agreed.
Absolutely. And again, if anyone's listening to this on Facebook and you want to chat or whatever, where we can see it, come over to the YouTube channel. For some reason, StreamYard doesn't appropriately rebroadcast this to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, come to the YouTube channel and come in here and you can chat and what have you. there's a certain, it's like when we get these feelings, it's almost like we want relations, and this is going to go to the black white issue again. There's no doubt about that. You got black white, you got Asian standing there, so everybody's in the mix, and it's incidences like these that take us back. Any progress that is made is taken back when bullshit like this happens. This guy may be a racist, may not be a racist, doesn't make any difference. What he did obviously didn't help the situation for race relations at all. And that's just something that we're, another thing that everyone has to deal with because of the actions of one. I got to be careful how I say it. Just one cop. We'll just say it that way. What a fucking asshole that cop is. I mean, there's just so many words. This is an abomination of and a dereliction of duty. This is totally egregious. Every legal term you can toss into this. When this goes to court, this cop needs to get immediately charged. I mean, they can't wait. They can, this is, they fired all 4 cops. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. Someone needs to have some balls and immediately charge these cops and bring them in. Otherwise, this is just going to drag on, because if this had been reversed, I mean, can you imagine if that was a non-cop and somebody was able to video this for 10 minutes of this cop or someone just killing someone and people just standing around? I mean, cops are not, they're not special citizens. They have no special powers. These are citizens, and these cops all protecting each other. And people standing around. I would have beat the living shit out of that cop. I would not give a rat's ass what happened to me. If I would have been there, I would have knocked out that damn Asian dude, and I would have went right after the white dude and knocked them both out. And that would have been the end of it. But then I would be in trouble for whatever reason because the guy, didn't die or something. But, I don't care. That's the type of person I am. If I see something like that, that's what I would do. But that's not Monday quarterbacking. That's just me just saying, something's got to change. Something's got to change. And this kind of shit right here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of retraining going on in the next month or two. But even then, it's always after the fact. It's always after the fact. I don't know, man. I watch shit like this now. It just pisses. It's just like you go to learn different types of arts and how to help people and all this other stuff. And then you see idiots like this that just take the wind out of your sails. It's like you want to help, do this and do that, and then you go in there and you look at some cop like this and you just want to say, oh, you're going to be one of those kind of cops, so we just take you out right now. Click, bang, bye, next. But you can't do that. Can't do that. Unbelievable. Absolutely.
Oh man, it's sickening. This is a horrible setback in so many ways. The race relations side of it is horrific. I live in a world where you don't want to see anyone treated unfairly for any reason, but particularly not because they're a minority. And, that's one other reason to make sure they're not treated unfairly, and so this kind of shit here, it just, man. Anyway, I'm not worth a shit talking about this because it's so infuriating. And yes, the desire to go and tackle the officer and go to jail and save somebody's life, it's overwhelms you when you're watching the video. If you were there, standing there, I mean, I would be somewhat in shock. I don't even know what those 4 people went through that were sitting there pleading for. It's just, I know you have some background.
Let me kill this audio in the background here. It's messing with me here.
Anyway, I'm not worth a shit talking about this.
I think you're this in the background.
That's all I needed was to hear myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have the thing set to autoplay on Facebook, so I was trying to go to Facebook to tell people there to come over to because there's people talking over there. But if you're on Facebook and you can hear my voice, come over to YouTube and just go to youtube.com/5x5 News US, 5x5 NEWS US, and you'll be right here. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like I'm very rarely at a loss for words because the only words I can think of right now is I just want to beat the living shit out of this guy. I want to do to him what he did to George. Simple as that. The same exact way, same length of time. I want him to look up and see people wanting to help him, but another person's holding him back. Just exactly the same scenario, because the last visions that this poor guy had before he died was looking up and seeing people that he probably knew stand around watching him die, knowing he's dying, and that no one could do anything to help him because there was cops there, and it's just unbelievably sad. Unbelievably sad. You know,
hiding behind the power of the badge to commit a crime of murder.
Yep.
In broad daylight. No, I mean, come on. Where's even the sense of normalcy in terms of whatever the criminal matter at hand was, as far as what prompted the officers to take action in the first place? Where's the sense of normalcy to even move things along? You know, get the suspect in the vehicle and whatever's going to be done next. What just out there on the street carrying on some damn heinous crime of murder in broad daylight in front of the whole world? What the fuck?
Yep. Yeah. And again, we're not talking about a man that just ran out of a bank and had shot 3 people or anything of that nature. It simply was a guy who had, so a lot of people look at these situations, they go, well, he shouldn't have been on drugs, or he shouldn't have been a criminal, or he should have took care of his warrant. I mean, really? At what point? I mean, my God, I mean, if that's the case, then it's okay to kill people just because of they got a warrant or all this other shit. That's just wrong. That's just totally wrong. But he did not run out of a bank. He didn't just shoot people. He was simply being picked up for forgery charge. He did resist. And that's what cops are trained to do. The cops are supposed to be trained to understand that if you go after someone, they're probably going to resist. And your first course of action is to not kill the guy. I mean, you're paid to do your job, to go arrest someone peacefully. And if it doesn't end up peacefully, it doesn't mean that you have a license to kill. It doesn't work that way. You're not at war. You know, if you're at war, rules are a little bit different. You're not at war. You're sitting here. You're a police officer. You're supposed to keep the peace. You are a peace officer. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep the peace. And if you run into a situation where you couldn't subdue the guy or whatever, and you had to get him into a car, I mean, we've all seen like 5 or 6 cops jump on somebody, and at first we think, oh my God, that's just too much, and it's blah, blah, blah. And I get that part too. But that is a safety in numbers. Everyone's heard the term safety in numbers, and safety in numbers works both ways. Okay. And and I understand cops have a very hard job to do. I've been there. I've done that. I've arrested people. I've been there with cops as they come in when we're doing tow trucks, and we're like pulling cars out of a place, all kinds of different scenarios that my dumb ass ended up being in. So I get it. I understand it. And you get hit, you react to it, but your first reaction isn't to kill the person. And this guy, literally, and the thing about this is that makes it so damn sadistic and so crazy is that it wasn't like the cop pulled out a gun and just fired because he thought the guy had a cell phone or a gun or some shit. He was reaching for his plane. This guy was already handcuffed. This guy was already on the ground, and this cop slowly killed him, like with his hand in his pocket, and it looked like he was enjoying it. I mean, it really did. If you watch this closely, you'll see that this cop it was sick, absolutely sick.
Totally a murderer, man. Totally looked and acted and behaved just like a murderer. The guy was a murderer all the way. And who knows, what the history of this particular officer is, but this kind of thing, like it's been mentioned in the comments, it's gone on numerous times. Every time it's a huge setback. And I don't know what the problem is with some of these cops. I mean, if they can't fucking do their job right, get the fuck out of the business and go do something else.
Exactly. And everyone, most of my close friends know I'm not a religious person by any means or whatever, so I don't say the right things that I wish I had some of that, because atheists, we just don't really have a lot of cool things we can say. But this is one of those moments where my heart, and I pray for this family if there's a word for it, because if I say I have thoughts or whatever, the closest thing I could come to prayer is that this man has been in my thoughts all day long. And the injustice that he went through, and that the people that were around him who had to stand there to watch this man die in front of them. And keep in mind, some people will say, Well, why didn't you put your camera down and go help the guy? Well, you can't. You got cops standing there that are already reaching for weapons. They're already killing one guy. And so some of these people, I get it. You know, they're already afraid of cops or whatever. I mean, my couple other people's situation might be different. If I was at a distance, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have pulled out a gun and shot the cop, but I know damn well I probably would have tackled his ass and got him off of the guy, just saying, you know, that something needs to be done. And if my life, you know, is in danger at that point, then so be it. I'll take the charge, but this is just
right. And it just has, it boils down to being there at the right time to figure, and, you know, for long enough to figure out what the situation is. And then finally it dawns on you what this scumbag is doing. And then you know, have an option to take action, but you know, it goes against everything, you know, in your inner being. You don't think of attacking a cop, you know, it's not the normal instinct. And so imagine the shock as you sit there and watch this go on. Yeah, but at some point, you know, you would be determining whether or not you can take action or react to the situation, do something to try to help the guy. But you got all these cops around. This is just straight up murder behind the power of the badge. And those that stood in defense of that cop's actions as it unfolded are equally as guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody, I'm going to make this a short one because normally we always have marathons on here. I don't even know how many. I've been running for 47 minutes. We're going to make this short because this is still a dynamic situation and it's still playing out. And I'm watching I'm in a hotel right now, so I'm actually watching in the background some of the shit that's going on. And I'd love to pull it in here, but obviously I don't have the bandwidth to do it. Because I hacked this hotel's security system and I actually changed their Wi-Fi settings to match whatever I wanted it to be. And unfortunately, I didn't make it good enough, apparently. So I'll have to do a better job next time. But yeah, that's fun. And I don't care if the owner knows that I actually hacked the system or not, because he pissed me off the other day. Anyway, so
well, you talk about having people in your thoughts and
yeah,
you know, wishing that there could be something to give them strength during this time. And, you know, now these people are more than ever in fear in their community.
Yeah.
Every sense of civility and decency is gone that they may have been hanging on to. And
there's something in the back of me that you know, when you watch something and you know just an injustice has been done and you almost start rooting for the bad guy, you know, which is the rioters, and in your mind you're like, yeah, go do whatever you guys got to do, but even that, I know the next day I pulled back from those thoughts because I feel like doing it. But if there was a way to direct all of the attention specifically, if you're gonna riot, go do the police station. I mean, go there. Don't go tearing up people's neighborhoods and businesses that have already been torn up and stuff like that. That shit that pisses me off. When you start burning people's cars and crap, you know, for whatever, that's wrong. Just go direct your attention to wherever you got to do it, or do it legally. Ideally, is what I would say, because I don't want to be caught for inciting a riot and get strikes again. You know, and Kathy Riley's probably sitting there waiting for me to say something stupid. But anyway,
well, I hate to see all that kind of personal property damage and damage to commercial properties as well. That stuff all sucks. When you get a community that is hopeless, that's the kind of shit that happens. They want justice and they want, you know, something to be done, and unfortunately a lot of the wrong things happen while they're pleading for that kind of justice, and it just makes a bad situation a whole lot worse. And so that's really kind of ties into the thing of just, you know, wishing for people to have strength during this time, and these communities that are riddled with this kind of bullshit already.
Yeah.
And man,
the whole nation is going through. We're going through so much right now, and for a cop to not have any humane feelings in him for what he did today. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't know. It wasn't like they were struggling and he was continuing. You know, if this guy had been continuously struggling and fighting with the cop, not handcuffed or whatever, I'm not saying I would excuse it, but it would make more sense. This absolutely makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I mean, you know, I just wish I would have been there. I just really, really, really do. anyway, Secrets, appreciate you being on. I'm going to get back and finish up some of the stuff I've got going on here. And let me go over a couple quick announcements with you on board so you can hear too.
Okay.
One, we did lose another. We lost a soul today that was part of the Route 91 Las Vegas massacre. We had a survivor who was shot in the leg, has had multiple complications since that day, and there's various situations that happened to cause this person to leave us. And my heart and thoughts, everything goes out to the family. I have been in direct contact with several people very close to the family, not the family themselves. And there are some things in the works that will be done to help for the final expenses and what have you. So please look for that in the Route 91 communities on Facebook and so forth. And please do what you can to help them out. Also, the situation with the Togliatti effect. I'm going to announce more of what's going on with that. I do have more information, but I'm going to wait until tonight. The reporter in Phoenix who has kind of taken the ball, so to speak, of the story, is going to be putting out a teaser, I believe, tonight, and then tomorrow the actual story is supposed to run. Of course, we've all heard this before. There are reasons why this story is taking a little while to get out, so to speak. But there's also some things that have been done in the story that I personally don't agree with. But the actual part of this, the end result of the story is what everyone's looking for. So I'll probably come out. I don't know if it's going to be later tonight, but definitely tomorrow, and discuss more about it. I want to see how this teaser goes and what have you. And then I may talk to her a little bit more about what's going on. We'll see how that runs. But anyway, that's where we're at the moment. Secrets, truly thank you for dropping by. You're a lifesaver, because I didn't know what I was going to do if I was going to sit there and stumble myself. Appreciate you coming in. And again, this is just a travesty what we're witnessing in Minneapolis. I think we're going to wake up tomorrow or not sleep tonight, just gripped, just sitting here staring at our TV, just seeing what's going on. And okay, there's actually a situation. Okay, if you're watching this and your name is Shannondale Chambliss, I just got a message. If your name is Shannondale Chambliss and you're in the Chicago area or wherever you happen to be tonight, yes, I am following you. Yes, I do have eyes on you. And yes, you have a problem. You will be arrested. You will be extradited back to Arkansas. And I will have the last laugh and everything that's going on. Everyone watching this probably has no clue what I'm talking about. But I've been chasing this guy for the last 4 or 5 years off and on. And he's just a real low-life scumbag. And I just got a message that we've found him kind of again. I've been dealing with him for the last 24 hours, and so this piece of shit is going to be taken care of. And I scared the living hell out of him last night, and I'm so glad I did. Good luck finding those GPS locators, buddy, on both of your vehicles, because that's why you had to take a taxi cab to another taxi cab and then go to the bus station. So you're welcome for that. But anyway, that's where we're at the moment with this piece of shit. But his name is Shannondale Chambliss. So if you are anywhere in the world and you hear some guy by the name of Chaos King, Jacob Dales, Shannondale Chambliss, Kevin Williams, or whatever his name is, anyone wants to come to you to do a tattoo and wants to charge you a deposit first to do so, don't do it. Could be Shannondale Chambliss. So anyway, yeah, I'm in your head, bud. And I'm enjoying every second of it. So
sounds like you're doing good work.
I try. Everyone wonders how I don't think there's 24 hours in my day. I don't know how I do all this, but maybe one day I'll be able to do better at it. Anyway, so again, I guess we're all going to be glued to the TV tonight. I'll come back if this report goes any further. If I get up any other information on it, I'll let you guys know. My heart goes out to the George Floyd family, and it's just a real sad event up in Minneapolis. And that cop all of those cops need to be arrested and booked and charged right away, because if that was us up there, you know damn well we would be already in jail, already booked, and waiting for, you know, our little 3-day tour around to the court. But again, Secrets, thank you for dropping by, and I appreciate everybody. I will try to get more information out. Secrets, what do you got going on? I saw you had a video earlier, and I wasn't able to hop onto that. What was that one?
I've been pretty busy, but every once in a while I'll jump on the internet and play around. Just you know, the usual silliness sometimes, really, is all it amounts to. But
tell everybody how they can find you and your channel.
Well, I think everybody in here pretty much knows, but anybody who doesn't, it's called Center of Gravity. So you might be able to search it up by Center of Gravity, COVID-19, something like that. Might bring you to it if you're looking for me. But usually it's just a bunch of back and forth over details and stuff like that. Sometimes some of it's worth watching. But anyway, I appreciate you bringing awareness to this, and those of us that are subscribed to you, being able to stay aware of this horrific incident and the tragedy that it is. So I guess just keep doing what you do, because a lot of times I'll find out stuff just by a notification that I get that you've put something up. So I'm like, oh, I'll be darned. You know, I didn't get a chance to see that video until you posted it. So that was the first time I saw it, and jeez, man.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, just so everybody knows, I posted the entire video. I know I'm probably going to get, and there's probably going to be a problem with it, but the video is uncut, unedited. I did not blur anything. I did not signal any voices or whatever. The video was originally a live cast by Darnell, I think her name's Darnella Frazier, on Facebook. So that's where the original video came from. So I don't want to use the word credit goes to that, because most people in these situations don't like to hear the word, credit for that. But a person who did contact me said to me that I would be inciting a riot by keeping that video up. To that person, if you do hear my voice, you are a fucking idiot to think something as stupid as that. I'm not the cause of anything that might be happening tonight, especially with the few people that actually see anything on my channel. The cause and the frustration and all of the anger, instead of aiming it at someone like me who basically puts the news out there so you can see what's really going on in the world, because I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. And if I have the full video, I'm going to put the whole thing out there so you can see it in its entirety and make your own decision as to what's going on. That's why I do what I do. And it's there. It'll be up there until probably YouTube takes it down. So if you do, please go over there. Everyone that's listening to my voice right now, please go to that video and share it. This is a video that's important that everyone should see. Okay. And I know it's hard to watch, and I understand all these things, but sometimes we have to watch these things that are just so egregious, with police brutality and stuff like this, that we have to have a full understanding of what's going on. Because if you watch the news, they're not going to play the full 10-minute video. They're only going to play maybe 30 or 45 seconds of it. And that's it. You're not going to get the full picture. This gives you the full picture. And it truly is, man, it's just gut wrenching. It really is. So I appreciate that. Everybody coming by, again, Secrets, thank you for coming by, and I will be back on there maybe later tonight, but most likely it'll be tomorrow. And thank you all for dropping by. I'm Mike Turber, 5x5 News. That's Secrets on the other side there. Thank you very much, and have a great night. Talk to you later. Say bye.
Later. Take care.
Later, buddy. Bye.